be ready to roll. I wish I had my shit right there. Stand that we used to have.
You can still move it. What's up, guys? What's up, Michael Walker? You can move it there. Oh, it has two, so it might be heavy. Careful. What's up, Wayne and Chia? What's up, Walad? What's up, Jack Malty? Don't forget to hit the like before we start. Are you happy now?
Yeah, get the cup out of my face. All right, ready to roll?
What's up, Alex Couillard?
Let's go.
Why wouldn't they continue with the matches? Well, right now we know that Dominic Thiem and Schwartzman finally finished their match.
Yeah, I think their match was like 5 hours and change, like just over 5 hours.
So now it's the girls playing.
I think it's Trevisan and Swiatek. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So we had an epiphany. What we want to do when the house gets rebuilt. And by the way, there's another major storm that's heading towards us like now, and one that is already like worse than the one that really jacked up the house. So hopefully this one misses us. I know that you hate when I do my weather videos, but
I do.
I love it. I'll be in here filming that, I swear. But anyway, what we thought we would do when this storm season finally ends and we can rebuild the house, I think we're gonna put a small TV behind us, because we have one that way with the match on as we speak, and I can look around and I can watch it. So I thought I would put like a small one on the wall behind us, because you can't show it, and then we can talk about matches sometimes while we're doing the show. You know what I mean? So we can have a match back there, and then we could go a little bit with that.
Well, I said Justin is an adrenaline junkie. Laugh out loud.
Freaking roll.
For who said this? Marco Tita. What a day for Argentina. True. Schwartzman and Podoroska.
That's a good point.
Yes.
When I hear Podoroska, though, I the first thing that pops into my mind isn't Argentina. Mm-hmm. She is...
Wasn't she born in Argentina?
Well, I don't know where she was born, but I know her ancestry was... Was it the Czech Republic? Was it Croatia? Where was her ancestry?
I'm telling you.
When you hear Podoroska, you generally don't think...
Ukraine ancestry.
There you go.
But she was born in Argentina. That's like saying... that's like saying I'm not American, because we're going to go back to this again.
No, I wasn't going there.
She's from Argentina. She was born there. She represents Argentina. Born there. Like I'm born in the U.S. Like you were born in the U.S.
Yeah, I was born in San Francisco.
Okay, so it doesn't matter where her parents from. She's born there. So she is representing Argentina.
Would it be fair to say that you caught heat over the past 2 years on this show, at least in fun and good fun, nothing, not outside of fun, but Carla's ancestry is Honduras, and only a half a generation removed, so her dad moved here, and Carla was born in Brooklyn.
No, I was born in
Queens.
Queens. Yeah, right by, close to Flushing Meadows, the next stop, Main Street.
All right, so I guess, is this the pot calling the kettle black then? So people say you should claim you're Honduran.
Right.
So should Podoroska claim that she is Ukrainian?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No, she is born in Argentina, probably trained in Argentina.
Exactly.
She's Argentinian.
What about Del Potro? He's
from Argentina.
He's another Argentine out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And Schwartzman isn't your typical Argentinian last name as well.
But born there, so what? We are all, look, to be honest with you, all of us, somehow we tie up. We are all, from back, many years ago, we were all the same. It's just that, we speak different languages. We all look different. A Spanish person could be blonde, could be dark. It could be many things.
Some of the Spanish people, say in Mexico City, look different than they do in the northern part of Mexico. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, in Honduras, there's a town where they're all blonde curly hair and green eyes. That's all you see. I remember my dad took me to that town when we drove from New York to Honduras by car. And we traveled. It took us like 2 weeks. And I was in heaven. I was like, wow.
Did you have to pay off some people to go past certain roads?
Yes,
were you paying
definitely.
The local border guards to cross?
Definitely. It took forever. We got stuck in many countries because of it. Yes.
Trying to find the right person you could pay?
Yeah. We're doing great. Michael Walker says, Carla lived in Flushing when you were born. There, small world. Yeah. I think my parents left after I was a year old. Then we went to Brooklyn. And then they sent me to Belize when I was about 3 or 4, and then I came back when I was 6 to Brooklyn again.
Brooklyn makes some noise.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, today is Tuesday, October the 6th, 2020. If the internet cuts out, again, I have to say that because sometimes we'll just be in the middle of talking and it'll just stop. If that happens, just go back to, I guess, our homepage and in a few minutes, and there'll be another one started. Fantasy team update real quick. I know a lot of you don't play, so I'm going to get this out of the way real quick. There's only 6 people left in contention, so I'm just going to read those players real quick and what players they have left so you understand this. Carla is tied for first place. The players that she has left is Djokovic, Nadal, Thiem, and Kvitova. Okay? And she has 44 points, by the way. Vira Celis has 43 points and has Nadal, Djokovic, Sinner, and Kennan left. Got it? So he's still in the hunt. Team Groves is tied with Carla in first place with 44 points and has Nadal, Djokovic, Sinner, and that's it. Okay? So Carla has an advantage there holding that one spot. But again, she's not going to win her own prize. By the way, that prize reiterated is we will either send each of the winners $20 US by PayPal, Venmo, some other type of secure source, or 2 sets of strings from YTech Strings, who is not a sponsor, but the owner of the company is a great friend and a great coach, great tennis player. He's South African but lives here in Savannah, Georgia. So anyway, Peter Dijkstra is as well tied in first place with 44 points. He has Thiem, Nadal, Djokovic, and that's it. So he has 3 players left. So Carla's looking good to take it. Stefan Nizovic, the reigning champion, one of the 2 reigning champions, he's on the outside looking in. He has 40 points, and he has Djokovic and Thiem left and Sinner. So he can still be, tied there for first. But if I didn't call your name, you have no mathematical chance of finishing in the top 2 because you have a little bit less points and probably the same players or less left. So those are your players.
Before we start the show and with the comments and all that, I want to thank 4 people. Wildlife One, I wasn't able to watch all of Thiem and Diego Schwartzman's match because we were busy doing a lot of errands and stuff, and we had to clear stuff out here. He was giving me details, statistics, and I'll read one of his comments. Wayne Chia was doing that as well, so my phone was blowing up like crazy.
Now you got.
We were excited about this match,
and you have to put both of them.
I'm not done.
Both of them in perspective because we know that Wayne Chia is in Singapore, so the time in the morning is like way out there. Like wow, I mean he was kicking the rooster in the ass, right?
I don't know what time is it, Wayne Chia. I don't know.
Yeah, and then Wildlife One is he works, so
What were you doing?
Yeah, it's like hey.
And then Gene Schwartzman for sending me some information, and B-Dog for also giving me some information and saying a pretty cool comment that I want to say over here. 3 a.m. guys, it's 3 a.m. for him.
For B-Dog 02, aren't the New England Patriots 2-2?
Off work today. Well, you better be off work because I don't know. If I was your boss, I'd be like, what are you doing watching tennis? Well, you're supposed to be working. He's off.
Look, when I have managed people, I always find it best if you make them happy because they produce more for you. So sometimes if you give your employees time to have a good time, if they have a passion and you enable them to do that passion, it makes them want to come back and work harder because they know they can spend more on the passion because you're going to allow them to do the passion. It's when you take things away from people, they begin to show up and talk about you behind your back. So I believe just share the kindness. The brother wants to watch tennis at work. Let's get down. Let's watch that.
But he's not working right now.
Well, either way.
Well, let's welcome a viewer from Tadansani Shuma. He or she is from South Africa. He or she says that he loves watching us. She or he. I don't know. Are you he or are you a she?
Yeah, thank you very much. There's quite a few South Africans not quite a few. There's a handful. The owner of YTech Strings, who's a friend of ours, and we love his products.
Male. Okay.
Is from.
I should have figured that out.
Is from South Africa. Gene Swart is from South Africa, and he is from South Africa.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you. Well, there were. What do we talk about first? Watching from London. Jackie's watching from London, UK. This is why. Let me go back to American tennis. Why it sucks. Because almost everybody that watches us is not in the United States, except for you, Wildlife. And I think this guy 1000's from the U.S. I think Team Groves. I don't think you're from the U.S. Let's see who else. Sandy Mitchell watches your weather, so probably from the U.S.
She's watching tennis too?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's get down. Get ready for the storm.
I think the only other person living in the U.S. here is Michael Walker and B-Dog. I think everybody else is overseas.
All right, you just mentioned the future of tennis for some reason, right?
Oh, Sandy's watching from Birmingham, Alabama.
Nice.
Alex Couillard's from Texas. Okay, so we got 5. I think David Bulich. I don't know if he's in California. I can't remember.
All right, so here you led me to the first topic, which I was going to do later, but since you somehow mentioned it, I'm going to mention it now.
Team Girl says UK, but our tennis sucks too.
Oh, this is okay. This is what we're okay. I had written something a little while ago, and it had to do with the future of tennis in certain countries or certain areas of the planet. And I stumbled across something that was quoted by Mary Pierce. Do you all remember Mary Pierce? What did she win? She won the French Open. I wrote it. Where did I write it? Okay, she won the French Open in year 2000. She was the runner-up in 1994 and in 2005. She was the last French player, however, Canadian-born. I think you shot right out when I was telling you about this. Mm-hmm. She had a statement about the future of tennis. Now, whether it was respective of her own country, and I think it was given the context of the article, this is her take, and I'm going to read it and quote it, on the state of tennis in France, okay? I do want to say that it is my exact feelings on the state of men's tennis in the U.S. If you followed this channel, you know from day one, Carla and I will always literally laugh at American men's tennis. Do we not?
Yes,
okay.
We do.
We laugh at it. It's a joke. I'm not going to get into why. Just go to any other show, and we tear into it every one. But here's a couple of quotes, couple of nuggets that I wrote. This article was in context of the future of tennis because I guess some of the French players crashed out earlier than hoped or whatever, okay? So one of these quotes she said is very short. Quote, young people these days give up, okay? Cut and dry. Do you agree with the statement that young people these days tend to give up?
They do, yes.
You know, life tends to get a little tough. And I'm talking when you're young, you know, we think it gets tough. Excluding things like debilitating medical issues, stuff that we're not joking or laughing about. I'm talking about when you're 16, 17 and you fall in love and a little girl breaks your heart and cheats on you with her boyfriend. It's difficult, right? Mm-hmm. But it ain't that damn tough. Anyway, one of her quotes says, young people these days give up, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so tell me this. What are some examples that you see as a coach, Carla, where kids give up?
Where do kids give up? In tennis?
On the court. When you're coaching,
if they're missing a shot, they give up. If they're down 2-3 games, they give up. If they lost the first set, they give up. I mean, they give up a lot.
Yeah. I will do...
If they're not hitting a certain stroke right, and they can't change to a different strategy, they give up.
I will do drills with multiple students. I don't need to name one because there's a lot of them. And I mean this, hopefully that they're watching and they can understand outside of me and their face. Generally, I'm saying this stuff and I've been yelling for 20 minutes, so they've tuned me out in the first place. So, you know, it may not get through, but if you're sitting back on your couch and you're listening to this, there are students out there that we will start drilling with where we're doing like 4 shots down the line. 4 shots. Oh, shit.
Are we lagging, or is it just me that I'm on Wi-Fi?
No, you're all on
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
so I'm getting off Wi-Fi.
All right. So let's just say a simple drill. I want 4 shots aggressively down the line, 4 shots aggressively cross court. I want to mix in the slice down the line, 4 more, and then another 4 the same off the forehand side. Just something easy, right? Well, to an advanced student, it should be. And if they can't get it, 2 times in, we'll hear something like, well, I don't like to hit backhands. I can just step around and hit my forehand. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't always do that. Learn, listen, and let's work. And again, it's an exactly true statement that she said young people give up. Not just in tennis, but in life.
How old players are you talking about now? How old are the players you're talking about now that give up?
Well, my students or our students?
Yeah, probably 15, 16, 17.
15, 16, 17.
You know, when you're a teenager, when back in the 80s, those same 15, 16, 17-year-olds were already Grand Slam champions or fighting. Yeah.
How many of those students bring their cell phones on the court, and every time they go get water, they're pulling out and looking at it?
I'm pushing the machine. I can tell you how many times, because we don't make our students pick up balls. We have
a ball mower.
Ball mower.
Yeah.
So it's big. So I tell them go get water, and I can tell you I had one girl. She was with her legs up like this, and she had her phone like this, as I was picking up balls, and I looked at her and I'm like.
But it's all good.
I hope your parent doesn't see that.
You know, it's not picking on anyone, but if you can go to a college, or you can go to a high school and go to the high school varsity team, or you can go to the college practice, and generally, and I hate to say it, I really hate to say it, but the American boys especially, I've been around it, believe me, coached at that level, the American boys are always sitting somewhere with their, 27 rackets, and their backwards hat and their latest gear, on their cell phone taking selfies of themselves and blah blah blah, while the international students tend to be out there working their ass off. And I hate to say it, but is this unique here to the United States? I think Mary Pierce has mentioned it now in France, and I think a couple of our viewers just have mentioned it now in the UK.
She was, by the way, Mary Pierce was a great player. She had a tough dad that would kick her ass too. Many times her dad had to be escorted out because he was yelling at